Okay, Thursday morning in the kingdom, and we're in a heat warning. Yes, the government website says we're in a heat warning. Yesterday was warm, and today it's going to be an official hot day of plus 33, which is 91 Fahrenheit. Yes, it's going to be an official hot day, so we're not really planning much except for day drinking. Yes, it's a day off for us, I think. Okay, this morning we woke up to plus 18, but feels like plus 18 on July 18th. Pretty good thinking, eh? Oh, can you hear the echo there? Yeah, we got some echo-ness. All right, on the yo-yo scale, plus 64 Fahrenheit, but feels like plus 64. Also, too, yesterday we had a YouTube comment there. A fellow in Argentina was asking about the seals for the D69U booster steering thingy-me-bob. So I replied back that I will give him some information, or reply with some information that night. Well, do you think I could find the comment? It's not there. So I'll include it at the end of this here video. At the end of the day, I'll do a little slideshow with the information just on it. But we won't do a full video on it because we'll save that for when we actually work on the steering clutch booster thing. So there'll be a little slideshow at the end so the fellow in Argentina can see what it takes to work on those steering clutch booster things. Plus, he should be able to get the seals locally. Yes, I'm not sure if there's a Napa in Argentina, but there has to be something. All right, let's scroll this way. It's hot, it's overcast, it's got a color to the sky. Yes, the colorblind guy is even pointing out there's a color in the sky. Yes, not real, it's great to me, but yesterday was warm. But we worked till, what, 3 o'clock, and then that was about it for us. Yes, and today's going to be the same way. Yes, see, I got my V-cut shirt on there. It kind of ripped when I put it over my big head the other day. Yes, so I'm showing off the one chest hair for the ladies that view these videos. Yes, so they can enjoy that one chest hair. Yes. All right, we just about made a full rotation. We're too warm or too hot to do anything here. Yes, we won't be welding on the D74T. Yes, we'll leave it parked there. So block in the driveway block in the roadway just like the ramp deck. Oh my, but we have to get these projects organized and ready for winter. Yes, all right, we just made the full rotation and I can hear Dick off in the distance. So I better go. Here comes the boss. Okay, one of the joys of putting oil back in the grater after it's sat for so long is it has leaks. Yes, we know the seals over here on the blade turning thing is leaking bad, so we have to put a pail under it. But yesterday it got hot and this thing started leaking, but it was leaking out the gasket around here. Oh, hand and eye coordination, Les Nessman. The gasket around here. So I figured I'd just whip it apart. The only problem is when this arm when it's attached to the blade here, when it hits a rock, it sends the power back up into here, and you can see all the welding they've done to, support the frame. But also too, this is a bearing support here. There's a brass bushing in here, and it holds the big the big gear, which is fed by the worm gear down here. Oh, hand and eye coordination, Les Nessman. All right, so what happened is the dowel pins here that line up everything are loose. So then these bolts were loose and everything was loose. So I did the measurements, did the math, and figured out a 2-inch bolt fits in here because we have lots of 2-inch, but I had to chase the threads out to make sure. So that's what I did here. Use your starting top here with lots of taper and then finish out with here. That way you know the threads are going right to the bottom. Lots of never sees. And we got the cover on tight and it's not leaking yet. All right, so I doubt we can address this one over here because we have to take that apart. We have to take that apart in the winter. This worm gear and everything needs to be fixed up. So we'll do that in the winter. So as long as we monitor the situation and know that it's leaking, we're good to go. Okay, next item on the list, which should have been first on the list, but that gearbox was leaking big time. All right, so over here, yesterday when we said we took the day off after 3 p.m. and day drank, yes, we did day drink, but we didn't actually, I can't sit still. So I was over here, and this is the bearing race that's in here. Okay, we had to die grind it out. We can't get this shaft out. This shaft comes out with the whole gearbox, everything. So it's a pain in the ass. So this is what they had here. Okay, let's see if we can do this. This went like this. Okay. So there's those roller bearings on each side, so they fit nicely in here. So we have to recreate this pointing down into there. Yes, into there. So we are doing that over at the workbench. Okay, this is the way we do it in Wilderness, Alaska, but in northern Manitoba. We have more time than money, and we don't have a lathe, and we're not shipping something out to the nearest machine shop so they can screw it up. I'll sooner do it myself. So this is what we did. We found a Mac bushing for the sprint spring or something. So there it is there. There's half of it. There's the other half. As you can see, we did some grinding. So you go back and forth with the big grinder, and then you do your final touches with your little grinder. But also too, we were using a worn out blade, and then when we did some modifications, we switched to the new one. Okay, so that's the way we did it. You grind and grind, do a test fit, and put it in there. Okay, so let's go back to the grader. Okay, we're back over at the grader. So lots of walking back and forth and testing. So as long as you got scratches here, that means it's, oh, hand and eye coordination. All right, so as long as you got scratches here, that means it's being tight. All right, the hose clamp is on there to keep it from falling straight through. So that worked out rather well. So when we get it tight, we have to get the bearing puller expansion thing. Okay, oh, this isn't going too good. So you put it in the hole, and you see that's all split and everything. So you can actually tighten it up, and those ears spread out and grab the bushing or the bearing. So we put it in here. That's the way we're getting it out, because once we get it in, it's tight. So I'll put the hose clamp on there for easier reference. All right, back to the workbench. Okay, back over at the workbench. Yes, you get your exercise when you live in the kingdom. So this is the factory thing that went into the worm gear. It is a little bit worn, but it gives you an idea of what was involved. So what we did was we took a bolt, cut the threads off, yes. And then we took the stainless steel rod collection. Yes, the stainless steel welding rod collection. It's a collection. It's not anything fancy. And we built up where we cut it off. All right. So now we have to get it to fit into the curve. That's where you get into your shiny new blades, because you can, how do you say, artistically taper it to what you want. All right, back to the grader. Okay, we're back to the grader. I should have hired a film crew to film me walking back and forth. Okay, so first thing you do is you take off the tie rod, so the steering rod pitman shaft or whatever is operating freely. So I'm not Hercules turning the big wheels. All right, so up here, this is where it takes time and lots of beverage. You want this to fit nicely in here, okay? And you want it to turn nicely in here, because that's what we're going to do. So that takes time. You've got hand filing, everything like that. Plus you've welded it with stainless steel rod, so it takes a bit longer, probably 2 to 3 more beverages than anticipated. All right, so everything is built loose and built big, because we're going to get this down to the proper size once we know we're happy down here, because we can't have this riding the worm gear, okay? Plus we have to have this in the proper location. So also too, it's loose in here, and I can build it up with some welding around there. We'll use the Hobart Handler 100 for some quick passes. We want this in here nice, but we want it to rotate, okay? When it's all said and done, we'll do some welds, and there'll be a little topper when this is cut off to hold it into place. Let's see if we have enough talent to see if it's going to actually work. For the first time in 80 years, we'll say. It's got steering. Oh, come on. There we go. Oh, hand and eye. So this is how we're doing it. Okay, remember too, this is a hydraulic piston, so I'm pushing the oil back and forth, plus it's a little dry, and you know the routine. All right, so this works out pretty good. We're very pleased. Once we get it in here being, how would you say, tight or not moving around, we will get rid of that binding action. But the main thing is, oh, it doesn't bind when we're turning it down here. So, oh, hand and eye. Oh, this is a hard video to film, just like in the bedroom. All right, so that's what we want. That's what we got. And that took quite a few beverages yesterday to do it. Thought was required. And now we can hopefully finish it off today, because it's too hot to work outside. Oh, wait. We'll be in the shop back and forth, so we'll get a cool down spell. All right, let's go burn some lunch and relax and enjoy. Okay, 2 o'clock in the kingdom, and all I've done is shorten this bushing bearing thingy bob here. And we can't figure out why they would have bearings in here, like those roller bearings. To me, that took all the strength away to this little pivot pin. If this pivot pin was, how'd you say, rectangle shape, so more material was in the groove here. Oh, way to be, Les Nessman. More material to be in the groove, but it seems to be round. But it's only worn on the one side, probably from going back and forth. So that's what I've done with this one here. I've made it round, just kind of copying it. And the only way reason I think they made this thing turn was so it didn't wear out in one spot, because if it flattened out on one spot pretty quick, it'd give it looseness in the steering. Yeah, right, look at all the looseness here. So I don't think that's a worry to me. So we playing around. We've had to MIG weld this up with the Hobart Handler 100 and then buff grind it to get it tight. The biggest problem we have here, there's still part of the Mac bushing down in there. So this has to be narrow, this has to be thick, so it fits in here. So you turn it, it kind of is not perfect, but that's the joys of using spring bushing. It's not, how do you say, precisely machined, plus I'm not precisely machining when buffing. All right, let's give it a try here. Oh, wrong way. So we got some nice movement. It's not binding. Remember, this thing's going to be right full of oil in theory, unless it leaks out like everything else. Okay, but you also too, you have to remember that the worm gear is worn in the middle where the steering would be center. Here we'll go. All right, so what I've been doing is getting a happy medium on my pivot down here. See, I can turn it, no problem, no binding, and yet over here it's kind of loose. So that tells you there's wear on the worm gear, but I don't think it really matters. I think we'll just have to build this up a little better to be a little tighter. And then what we're going to do is cut it a little shorter and then weld this in here. And then we'll put a topper on this so this thing free floats in there. There should be enough oil, and I want kind of a little bit of sloppiness for the oil will be right filled. I'll fill this thing right up past the drain plug. But you got to remember, this steering box, the gearbox, was designed to be standing upright, not laying flat. That's why there's no drain. So if I fill it right up and then put the top on, then I know that this is submerged in oil at all times. And we just got to work away at it, get it so it spins smoothly. One rotation, full rotation on every stop, I'd say. All right, let's continue this quest. It's getting hot out here, and I got the fan in the shop blowing on the wind speed of Saskatchewan or Wyoming. Okay, coffee time in the kingdom, and I've been playing and playing and playing. That's the only way to do it. So we got it going here, and we're very pleased. You just keep welding, buffing, filing, and emery clothing to get it a nice fit. But it has to be a nice fit going all the way around. Plus you have to keep moving the worm gear back and forth because it's worn in one spot, tight in the other. So you have to get a happy medium. So we're very pleased how this is turning out. But we just keep do some more welds, buff it, more welds, buff it. That's about the only thing we can do. Let's go have some beverage. Okay, we're very pleased. Yes, very pleased. We put the ground on here when we welded. And we welded the bushing in first, and then we did a test run with the pin. Yes, test run with the pin, because you don't know if the welding had twigged it or anything like that. So you have to do everything, double check everything, do it again and again, just like in the bedroom. All right, so once we got the pin happy, we cut it off just below. We cut it off high, and then we used the grinder and ground and ground and ground till it was low. And then we went back and forth, winching it or rolling it back and forth. And then we came to the conclusion we need some shims, yes. But the drawback is that bushing I made was a bushing or bushing, which is formed steel or casted steel or whatever it is, so it's not 100% true. So the best way to do it was to get the shims out. Yes, here's the box of shims. It's written right here, brass shims. All right, so this is the material I used. But to get it to go in on the bottom, or to get it started, I used the hammer and flatten this out to make it thinner. And then, I don't know if we can see it, but right in here, I made sure to fold over one corner. So I don't want the shim to fall down, because, you know, over the years, you know, in 80 years, the thing could become loose. So I folded it over so the shim will stay on top no matter what. And then I found a thick washer and welded it on there. I want this here for oil to go in. Okay, so if things go to, we want to be able to, how would you say, breathe oil into it. Also too, we did a double check with the top on there, and there's enough room because we stayed below here. Oh, hand and eye coordination. So we stayed below here, so we're good to go. We got the oil in there. All right, I'll switch hands and see if we have enough talent, because I've been beveraging. All right, it's pretty smooth with the oil in it. So I'm very impressed, you know. There's a little bit of slop or a movement or whatever, but that's to be expected. Because, you know, this thing was basically junk. You know, remember I stole a complete operating grader, and then I'm finding out this thing is junk. I should have my court fees reimbursed. Okay, very pleased, very pleased. Yes. Okay, and the welder of choice. Okay, we'll see if we can walk and talk. All right, oh, turn. It's so freaking hot out here. It feels like I'm walking up to the oven with the oven door open. We do that in the winter when it's 40 below. Leave the oven door open at 350 degrees Fahrenheit to add some heat to the house. So we're using this welder here because we haven't used it in a while. And it's a Ranger 8. I think it's, no, or is it the 250? We're so confused. Oh, it's the Ranger 250, so we're using it because it hasn't run in a while. It needs some exercise, as you'd say. We broke the choke cable off a couple years ago, so we opened the lid, reach in and use the manual choke. Yes. All right, let's have some beverage after we put the top on the grater. What a victory day today. I think there was more thought involved with this than the actual hours of working on it. Probably 10 hours of working on the grater to get the steering fixed, probably about 20 hours of beveraging with Jack Daniels to get the thoughts required. Okay, it's freaking hot out here. Good thing the smoke is in the air to block out the sun, because that sun would be unreal. We got the steering box back together. I made a note that that's the vent and it's plugged, and that's where the oil level has to be filled up to. And as soon as I got the oil level up, then the little drill hole right here that feeds this, it leaks. Yes, oh well, so we fixed it. It's on the list. That seal from some, it's on the list from Sir Rodney, so I don't know if he has it or found it or acquired it. And also too, we made a package to go in the trailer, the storage trailer. Yes, the broken pivot, steering box pivot, so for history value. All right, so also too, we had the gear lube out, so we filled up the tower of power. Yes, seems how we have that block off place right there. The silicone's dry by now. I think we made that Sunday. And we filled it up and we marked on there that the oil is in there as of 2024. All right, let's go check on the flags.
Thursday morning in WHO-ville, and it's almost 10 a.m. and I'm just getting ready to head up and do some shopping. Then I gotta go to the Kingdom and be on the phone again. Not sure if we'll be doing much today because it is pretty warm out. This is the temperature we're sitting at already. It's 23 degrees Celsius, which is 73 degrees Fahrenheit. We even have the feels like on the bottom. Now it's time to get the quad out and head up shopping. Just after 10 a.m. and I finished my shopping for the 2 bags here, which just have juice and a case of pop plus some bread and 2 cases of water. It was $81, but we need fluid since the machine's still not working. Now let's head to the Kingdom. Just after 10:30 and I'm officially done in the Kingdom. I have to go up and get some jerry cans of fuel. I'm not feeling the greatest today. I'm pretty sure I ate something bad yesterday, so we're not doing anything in the Kingdom. I'll just be doing laundry and a few other things at the house. Let's go get some fuel and see how much that costs. Just after 11 a.m. and I made it back to the Kingdom. For the 3 jerry cans of diesel, it was $126 at $1.65 a liter, which was pretty good. And then I'll do a video on the gas. Since I wasn't able to print off a receipt, I had to take a picture of it, so let me look and check. For 3 jerry cans of gas, it was $99 at $1.40 a liter, which is actually pretty good. I was able to fill them all up. Now I'll drop everything off and head into the house to grab my dad's laundry and bedding. 11:30 and I'm officially done in the Kingdom for today. I'm still not feeling the greatest, so I'm going to head home and do all my dad's bedding and laundry. Then I'll come back around 4 p.m. or so and send him all my videos and then see what he's up to. So let's head on back into WHO-ville and start laundry. 2 p.m. and this is the temperature we're sitting at right now. It's 30 degrees Celsius, which is 86 degrees Fahrenheit. We even have the feels like on the bottom. As you can see, it is pretty warm out here and smoky at the moment too. It wasn't like this morning, but there is a lot of fires around WHO-ville. Now it's time to head inside and finish up laundry. I have about 2 more loads of blankets to do, then I can do mail and head to the Kingdom. 5 p.m. and I'm just finishing up the last load of laundry. I'm going to head over to the Kingdom and drop everything off. This is the temperature we're sitting at right now. It's 31 degrees Celsius, which is 87 degrees Fahrenheit. We even have the feels like on the bottom. It is extra hot out there today, which means we will get some rain. It's kind of humid as well. Now it's time to head inside, bag up all the laundry, and go to the Kingdom. 5:30 and I made it to the Kingdom. Just came to drop off laundry and see what my dad was up to. Now I can grab my dog treats and head on back into WHO-ville and end my day.
Okay, no idea why the volume didn't take when the staff recorded me this morning, so we'll do a poor man's voiceover. All right, so we got this flag from Oklahoma when it arrived last week. We also got a t-shirt too, and the t-shirt here has the YouTube logo on it, so King of Obsolete, the YouTube channel. And if you need to get a picture or want a t-shirt, contact Sir Rodney at this address. There I am, covering half of it with my fingers. I don't know what I was thinking. But also, too, that's kind of nice. This t-shirt is well made, and it has the artwork of that character that was sent to us a couple months ago. So that's pretty neat. That's me riding my cat, and it's freaking unreal. All right. Okay, a successful day today. I made it till quitting time. Yes, 5 o'clock and I'm still vertical. That's due to the heat and the beverage. Usually if it's one or the other, I'm horizontal. But I'm surprised myself being the old guy. All right, look at the skies. Look at the flags. Oh, there's not a breeze. It's so hot. Now I have to go walk the dogs, drink some more beverage, and then make a video. Talk to you later.